Long way, get the shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, every day we gotta get paid, I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich, she don't understand, she's gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we got hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, tryna get the shit the long way, Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a pong way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, just a gun Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, I said fuck it bitch, we gonna get some money. I said fuck it bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I went and got some money, we gon' get the shit the long way, long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, back and forth like the pong way, man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way, just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy, we gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day, we be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for so we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we get the shit the long way, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, we gon' get the long way,
Hello everybody, hello. Let me remove this. Welcome. Make sure I'm speaking. Let's see. You guys can hear me okay, I'm assuming. All right. Let me remove some things here. Welcome if you're new to the channel. What's up, Omanique? What's up, Quentin? What's up, Andre? Welcome if you're new to the channel. My name is LJ Young, and I am the founder of SMD. SMD is the family. I'm just the founder of it. I am part of SMD. I am not SMD itself. SMD is a family, okay? So what I'm here to do is, what SMD does is help you own yourself. I help you, SMD helps you own yourself, okay? Right now you don't know you don't own yourself, and I'm here to show you that by sharing my gift. And my gift is that I understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. Sure is. Yes, it is. All right. And it's a 100% gift. That is a gift. The reason why I didn't know it, because it was my fault. Everything was my fault. That's the wonderful thing about knowing this piece. I now understand the only thing that was preventing me from wealth was me. Okay, it was nobody else's fault. It didn't matter the color of my skin. It didn't matter where I lived, how I grew up, nothing. It didn't have anything to do with that. It just had to do with me psychologically, but I didn't know. Now I do. And with this knowledge, I now understand that I own myself. In order for me to know this, I have to own myself first. That's the requirement to understanding this knowledge. You have to own yourself first. But if you don't know you don't own yourself, you're probably what is called a debt slave. Now, debt slaves are people that believe they can own things with no money. People believe they can become homeowners with a mortgage. People that believe they can buy cars with car loans. None of that is true. That's a psychological problem. Okay. Well, with this knowledge, with the debt slaves, you guys don't understand that everything is you. You're the taxes, you're the money. No currency in any form exists for debt slaves because it's you. You guys are everything. You guys are the taxes, you guys are the paper money, you're the gold, you're the silver, you're the anything you guys think is valuable, cryptocurrency, it's you. Everything is you. Now, the reason why you guys don't know that because it's against the laws of mathematics for you to. That's the only thing. That's the best way I can try to describe something that is purely psychological. Anyway, with knowing that, now I understand that when I say everything, you guys are the stock market, you guys are the insurance policies, life insurance policies, 401ks, Roth IRAs, whatever you want to believe in your brain, it's all you. Okay. With this knowledge, it changes your whole entire life. Not just money. When you own yourself, everything changes. Now, when I say changes, your perspective of the world changes. Everybody has their own perspective, right? But when it comes to the SMD, when it comes to the finances, we have the mathematical perspective, which is the only perspective. There is no other perspective. Like, here, let me give an example. You cannot buy a house with a mortgage. You can't. You can finance a house with a mortgage. You cannot buy a house with a mortgage. There are no ifs, ands, buts about it. But if you believe you did, that's a psychological problem because it's not mathematically true, right? 1 second. So now what it makes me, when you get on, in my belief, because I don't know, because I just discovered this, okay? I believe there are 4 parts in capitalism: positive, negative, physical, and psychological. There's 4 parts. With this knowledge, I realize I fully understand where I live and what part of the world I was born in. That's a crystal clear understanding. And here, I'm gonna try to give you guys a physical representation of something that is psychological. All you got to do is sit back and say to yourself, whose currency is the #1 currency in the world? All you got, everybody knows whose that is. That should tell you a lot, because you got to remember, I'm sure everybody in the world didn't agree that US currency was going to be the #1 in the world. I'm sure of that. I mean, we disagree on stupid ass things here in the United States. We're talking about the entire world. That should tell you something. That should automatically tell you where you live, what country you live. And then when you understand it, then you understand, once you understand the psychological piece of it all, you look at the financial system, you see the true purpose of taxes. That's why you don't commit tax evasion or cheat on your taxes. Not only is it against the law, you're cheating on yourself. You know why you're cheating? Cheating means you don't understand how they work. That's why you're cheating. All you got to do is reflect. I mean, once you get on the positive side of it, you understand how it all works. Now, also with SMD knowledge and understanding the psychological capitalism part, it's like having X-ray vision when it comes to the game of finance. Okay, you can see everybody, you can see all the financial scammers, you can see who's full of shit, pretending they have money, and they really don't. But you got to remember, if the people out there that are tricking you financially, pretending that they have more money than they really do, than they really have, they're really in debt, that means they don't know there's a psychological piece, because they don't know that they're only fooling people like you. They're not fooling people like me that understand the psychological piece in capitalism. That doesn't fool anybody. That's obvious. So what that means is that every word, not every word, but words that are used inside of when you're talking about money and finances, debt slaves, you guys don't know words like that are positive and negative. All of them. They're all positive and negative. It all and what determines the positivity or the negativity of a word that's used in finances is determined by the person using the word. Okay? So let me give you an example. Now you got millions of people calling themselves homeowners with mortgages. Okay? They all calling themselves homeowners. Now, if you're a young person, you just stepping out in the world and you hear a homeowner, this is what you do. You don't know that when people are using the word homeowner, they're either using it positively or negatively. And I'm gonna tell you how to determine who's saying that to you, especially the young people, okay? Because you guys are confused. It got to be, hey, should I go to college? Do I need to buy a house? Am I supposed to do real estate? Am I supposed to do all this and so I can be successful? Nope, stop all that. Stop all that. Stop. That's part of the program. That's for debt slaves, okay? They don't know. They think the future exists. The future is always created in the present. It's always here. Now, this is what you do. You say, when you hear somebody say homeowner, you listen to see if they have a mortgage. Just say, hey, yeah, I'm a homeowner. And then you turn to them and say, do they have a mortgage? Do you have a mortgage? And if they say yes, they're talking about homeowner negatively, because all they have to do is open up the calculator, put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance and hit equal. They would automatically see a large negative number. So if they're calling themselves a homeowner while having a mortgage, they're talking about negative homeowner, which is not a homeowner at all. A positive homeowner is a homeowner with no mortgage. That's a positive homeowner. So whenever you come across a person that says they're a homeowner, you turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? A person with no mortgage is going to quickly tell you that they don't have a mortgage, because the person that has no mortgage already knows the only way to be a homeowner is if you have no mortgage. That's the only way. There is no other way. What's up, Robert? That goes for everything. When you hear, like, here's another one. When you hear compound interest, debt slaves, you don't know that there is a negative compound interest and there's a positive compound interest. You don't know that. When you put it this way, when say like you have a car payment and your car payment comes with interest. When you pay interest every single month, when you pay it, you're doing compound interest negatively. That's called negative compound interest when you pay it. Albert Einstein already mentioned this in one of his quotes. The eighth compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. When you pay it, hence pay your car payment, you're compounding interest negatively. And then when the bank receives your payments with the interest they added on to your payment, they're compounding interest positively. See how that works? That's how it works. Now, if you have, say like this, say like you have a student loan, but you are investing in your retirement plan or the stock market. You can't do that. You can't compound interest positively while being in the negative. You can't do that. That goes against the laws of mathematics. So here's another example. When you hear, say like the recent FTX things. Now, what you guys don't know is FTX, the majority of FTX is for debt slaves. And the vast minority of it is for the people that know. Okay, the people that know you are the FTX. It was you. Now, if you're a person that had invested in FTX, you don't realize anything associated with money has a positive and a negative. So the next time somebody comes to you with an FTX like something, because it's going to happen, because you guys fall for it every time. They do the same repetitive thing over, and you guys go for it every single time. But anyway, my point is this. If somebody comes to you talking about FTX, the first thing you say to them is say, are you making car payments? Do you have student loan debt? Do you have a mortgage? They're talking about FTX negatively because you cannot invest in anything while in debt. They're talking about negatively. Now, if you're a debt slave and you've been a debt slave all your life, I don't ever expect you to ever had automatically known to ask these types of questions, because you won't hear this anywhere else. You're only going to hear this here. You're not going to hear this type of information anywhere on the internet. Nowhere. There are very few people like me that understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. It is. Put it this way. Once you understand the psychological piece, and then you come on the positive side of the economy, because I said 4 parts, you will understand why to follow the rules. Why, when I'm talking about the financial laws, you'll understand, oh, that's why that's there. That's why this does that, and this goes there, and it goes through these channels, and then you break it off and do this. You understand, oh, okay, all right, that's the way it works. That's the way it works. Because I now understand that everything is you. If they raised interest rates and taxes and put something, make higher, adjust the tax brackets and all this, all of that is you guys. That's you. They're just moving you guys around. But listen, that's a choice. You don't have to be there. The system says, the wonderful thing about the system, you have a choice. You can either believe the calculator or not. That's totally up to you. So if you believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage, that is a choice. If you believe you own the equity in your mortgaged house, that's a choice, because it's not mathematically true. You can't do that. But that's a choice. Listen, I understand. This is what I understand. This helps you understand. I know where I was born. This system was already in place. Everything was there. I just now understand it, why it is the way it is. That's it. Whatever. I understand that millions of people need to believe that they're homeowners with mortgages, or the housing market wouldn't exist. I clearly understand that. When I signed up for my student loan debt, they clearly told me, said, hey, you won't be able to bankrupt this if you don't pay this back. I know what that means now. That means they're going to own me until I pay back all the money. I signed up for that. They didn't do nothing to me. I'm not going to be begging for forgiveness. I did it to myself. I did that. They told me right there. They said, hey, you can't bankrupt this, and you have to pay back every penny, else you're going to be paying us for the rest of your life. That's what it said. You know what I said? No, thank you. So I paid it off. What's up, Nick? You guys think you'll ever know that almost every word that is used in a financial statement is positive and negative? It all counts on who's telling you about it. You know how many people out there are selling you guys financial advice from the negative side of the economy? Hey, it's just business. It's business. I don't care that they do. The majority of them don't even know that they're doing it. It's not illegal to sell people things that are not mathematically true. That's not illegal. That's called business. You better get you some. I already know my gift. I do. I know for a fact it's a gift. How many people you think know there's a psychological piece of capitalism? And listen, and capitalism is not just here in the United States. It's in Canada, Australia, wherever. It's all the same. Each of them got their different flavor and different pieces of paper. That's the only difference between it. They probably do a little different things here and there, but the majority are debt slaves and they don't know it. That's how capitalism works. I get it. Hey, whatever. You know, here's another crazy thing. You know, when I was a debt slave, right? It was always pounded in my head like Jewish people just always have all the money. You know, if they're Jewish owned, that means they just have first, when you're a debt slave, you kind of look at it like you look at them like I never looked at it like to me when I was a debt slave. I used to look. Why do you guys keep mentioning their religion or when you talk about money? That's what I used to always say to myself as a debt slave. I'm like, well, just because they're good with money, that has nothing to do with what they believe in or whatever. That has nothing to do with math. That's what I used to say that to myself. Now that I understand there's a psychological piece, I was exactly right. Maybe just more of them know that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. Maybe more Jewish people understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. It doesn't matter that they're Jewish. They just understand that. Nobody owns math. Did you guys know that? Nobody owns mathematics, no religion, no color, no nothing. Nobody owns the calculator. I know you guys don't think I know you guys think I'm full of shit when I say like this. If you come see me, say like you're a tax professional, especially you tax professionals. If you want to be one of the best tax professionals in the United States and you don't know that there's a psychological piece in capitalism, come see me. I will help you become one of the best tax professionals in the United States of America. And anything past that, if you want, I'll help you do that too. You want to go around the world? Hey, just find all the places that are capitalism, that their economies are capitalist. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's all I need to know. If you are some kind of professional accountant and you don't know that there's a psychological piece in capitalism, come see me and I will help you become one of the best accountants in the United States of America. Come see me. I'll show you how to do it. You're probably thinking, well, you don't have no tax degree, Linnell. You didn't go to college for accounting. You didn't, because it has nothing to do with that at all. Nothing to do with your schooling, nothing. That's why it's called the psychological part, because it has nothing to do with that. 99% of the people in the United States will never be able to financially fool you ever. 99%. It doesn't matter how much money they have. It doesn't matter where they live. It won't matter the color of their skin. It won't matter if they got 15,000 degrees from Harvard, Yale, IT. None of that. None of that will matter. None of it. You don't even listen. Even the people this is what you guys don't know. The people that didn't go to college, the people that said, you know what, that's a lot of money. I don't think I'm going to do it. You guys have no idea. You guys have no idea the wonderful decision that you made. You probably walking around here, oh man, I don't got a college degree. It makes me this small. And they say people with only high school. Do you guys understand? That's all the program. Who said that? The TV? Do you guys know the majority of people that did go to college? Half of them wish they didn't because they got student loans that are older than the houses that they live in. The houses that you guys are jealous of because you guys think the only reason why they got that house is because they're college educated. No, they're just in debt. And you're renting and you probably have a quarter of their debt and you're renting an apartment and they're looking down on you and you don't realize they're in debt. They don't know what they're saying. They have no idea. They have no idea they own nothing, not even themselves. You guys with no student loan debt didn't go to college, feel all bad. Did you guys know those millions of people that have student loan debt? Guess what that means? They don't own themselves. They don't even own themselves at all. And you're probably thinking, well, they live in a nice house. That's what they believe. That's not their house. Look at their cars. What cars? The cars they're making payments on? Those are not their cars. They're making payments on them. Payments are red flags that you're not the owner. So if they're making mortgage payments, that means they're making payments to the owner. Homeowners don't make payments because they don't have mortgages. You guys, man, you guys don't even. When I go out into the world, the social media world, because the majority of that shit is for you guys. They're not talking to me. Once you understand the psychological piece, you don't really pay attention to half the shit. But when I go out there, the shit they be feeding you guys, hey, people with high school educations only make this, according to who? When I step on the positive side of things, I look at that kind of statistical data. I understand its purpose. It's to make you believe if you don't go to college, this is how much money you're going to make. None of that is true. That decision is up to you. That's not up to a statistic. Debt slaves, listen, debt slaves are the currency. It doesn't matter when they get to 12th grade, if they go to college or not. If you don't have the money, of course you have to borrow it. You don't have the money. So if they just tell you all the way up to the 12th grade, you ain't going to be shit unless you're college educated, you're going to believe it. That's part of the program. Hey, congratulations. Hey. I don't care how they do it. I don't care how you put yourself in there. You enslave yourself. You volunteer yourself. I be going into other finance chat rooms and shit. And you know what? I don't really pay attention to the person delivering the show. I pay attention to the questions you ask the host. Half of you guys are terrified of taxes and what do I invest? I heard you do this. I heard you do that. All you got to do is this. This is all you have to do to know if you're ready to invest. Log into your online credit report. Go past the credit score. Go all the way down to your total debt. Write that number down and put a negative in front of it. That's how much money you have to, whatever you're thinking about investing, a life plan that you can borrow from and do this and that. That's how much money you have to put in one of those whole life plan thingies. That's how much money you have to put into your 401k. Oh, should I invest in before tax, after tax Roth? Will I get a bit? That's how much money you have to do whatever you think you're going to do. Now, you're probably going to be stuck and be like, that's a large negative number. Yeah, I know that. I know you can't do that. Anything past that negative number that you think you're investing, that's a psychological problem. Where am I getting that money to invest in? I don't know. If you don't have the money, listen, put it this way. If you don't have the money to invest, say like you have a mortgage and you think you're investing in retirement. If you open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit enter, that's a large negative number. That's how much money you have to invest into your 401k to get a match. Now, you're going to be stuck. This is called a glitch in the debt matrix. Well, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I've been doing it. How have I been doing it? I don't know. How have you been doing it? So let's keep coming back. If you don't have the money to invest into a retirement plan while having a mortgage, where is the only other place that you can actually get the money to put into the 401k? Where is it? Is it your friends? What about your brother, your sister? What about your old high school buddy? No, the bank. Congratulations, bank. You think, listen, when I was a debt slave, you think I paid attention to what the central bank was and what their roles are? Today I do. Oh, congratulations. I didn't see that. You got how many? 12 all over? Oh, congratulations. They're what? They're private entities? Congratulations. I have no, oh, you guys designed it. Oh, that's why you did. Okay. Congratulations. Hey, I was just born here. It was already there. Everything was here already. You know what's so crazy? All you got to do is just this is for the young people, right? Do a little history lesson and say, hey, when did capitalism actually reach here in the United States of America, right? Now you got to go all the way past the slave days because it was here. Okay. Now here you are born in 2020, right now, 2000 something, right? You're just now a young adult. And you're like, you coming out, oh, I hate taxes and I'm not going to pay taxes. It's like you got to stop yourself and say, hey, wait a minute. Capitalism been here for like a couple hundred years. Okay, maybe. I might be exaggerating. It's over 100 years, right? Here you are born and you're like 18, 20, and then you're listening to your friends, everybody that hate taxes, right? And you decide to jump on the bandwagon. You just think you're going to stop something that's already been here for a few hundred years because you don't like it? That's why it doesn't work like that. And when you got here's another red flag for debt slaves. If you commit tax evasion, you can get almost the same amount of time in prison as somebody that murdered somebody. Now you guys always say it too. Oh my God, man, that person got how much time for tax evasion? Somebody kill somebody well, that's true. Yeah, all of that's true. But don't you think that's weird? Why is that? That didn't hurt nobody. They didn't kill nobody. It's the money. Okay, still keep coming. Why do you think that is? That means there's something there that's very important that you guys can't see because you're debt slaves. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. That's a very important piece. The penalty should make you aware of that. Like when you own yourself and you understand the positive side, time is at the top of the list. Time. The time you have left on this earth, that becomes time and then money. Time, money. So when you commit tax evasion, what the law is really saying is this. If you do this, we're going to take away something from you that's more valuable than even this that you're trying to do, which is time. That should be a red light in your, that should be a white light that pops off in your head and say, uh-oh, wait, okay, that's weird. Why this? Why this piece of the tax system? Why that? Why do I get that? Now, if I don't file my taxes a couple years, I'll get penalized, but I won't get sent to prison. But if I do this in tax evasion, I'm gonna get sent to prison. Ding dong. Uh-oh, there's something there that you can't see. Now that I understand there's a psychological piece, I clearly see, oh, got it. That's why you don't do that. Again, you really, honestly, the word cheat should tell you something. Cheat. That means you're cheating because you don't understand it. You don't like the rules, whatever. But it's still cheat. Cheating means you don't really understand how it works. What's up, Miss? What's up? What's going on, Miss AB? Soon to rise. What's up? Keep up the good work, LJ. Woke me right up from the Matrix multiple times. You're welcome. I want people that follow me that get pulled back into the Matrix. When that happens, but you keep coming back, because once you know, you're going to keep coming back. Okay. Once you understand that there's a psychological piece, what I'm doing, I'm just advancing you guys' journey to get to this part, to understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. You're going to keep coming back. That should tell you how strong the program is, the Matrix is, the debt matrix. When I watch the movie The Matrix, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, somebody knew this piece existed. That's true. You go back, once you understand the psychological piece in capitalism, you're like, and then you go look at the movie The Matrix, you're like, oh, so those agents are like the IRS agents. Got it, because these guys, okay. Oh, got it. Right on time, LJ. I was hoping you do a live. I am here. Hello, Kathleen Brown. How you doing? How do you get out, though? You come see me, Kathleen, and then I give you the blueprint on how to get out of the debt matrix. Guaranteed, mathematically, guaranteed. Once I lay out the blueprint, this is what I do for clients. They say, how do I get out, LJ? I say, you come to me. I lay out your blueprint, and all you got to do is just follow it. And it's not like I want everybody that does come to me. I want you guys to understand something. I'm just not telling you guys to do something. Hey, do this and you'll be free. I'm going to show you mathematically. I'm going to show you why I'm telling you to do this so you can be free. So Jack, to the debt slave's credit, most of us were there, if not all. In the end, it's all about learning from past mistakes and choosing not to remain a debt slave. Yeah, but the hardest part is first you have to know you're a debt slave. Now, it's going to be really hard for you to, and I'm not here to convince anybody to calculate. I'm just kind of telling you guys this because a lot of you guys come to my channel, discover what I do, and the first thing you want to do is run out and tell your loved ones, hey, check this out. We've been doing it wrong. Do it this way. And they're not going to hear you. If they're driving a Lexus and living in a nice house and you call them a debt slave and you're renting an apartment, they're not going to listen to you because they believe they own something. So it's going to be very difficult. Capitalism is truly worldwide. I have experienced it myself. Funny enough, in Japan, Christmas Eve is pushed as a big day to get engaged, and KFC is the traditional. Wow. When you understand the psychological piece in capitalism, and when I go and look, because you guys don't really understand, when I go look at another economy that is capitalist, I see things that you guys can't see because you guys don't understand there's a psychological piece in it. The paper of the country doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't mean anything. It just says, hey, when you come here to this country, we're capitalists. We use this paper. That's it. It is what it is. But whatever you see there, the majority of the people that will live there are in debt. That's how it works. So say like this, say like you understood capitalism was, you understood that there's a psychological piece in capitalism, and you decide you're going to go to Japan. And I believe Japan is capitalist. I'm not sure. I'm just assuming because I don't really pay attention to that yet, right? But say like Japan is capitalist, right? And you wanted to start a business there, okay? This is how you pick the key people. You just go there and you say, okay, it's capitalist. Okay, there's some kind of tax system. There's some kind of government licensing something to make it do something. You got to do this before you can do that. So you will go to Japan, and of course, they're going to have some kind of credit type system that keeps track of who, because debt slaves don't know. You guys' credit reports are owner's ledgers, right? So I would say like it was me. I would go to Japan and find somebody that owns themselves, that understand how the taxes work in Japan. So if the person that's a professional in Japan taxes, but they're personally debt free, I would go look for that person and tell them, hey, when I start my business, make sure all my stuff is right. To create a business in Japan, make sure that's all correct. That's what I would do. Time for banking, I would find a banker who is personally debt-free that understood that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. An investor, some kind of investing or whatever they do over there, I'll find a person in Japan who's personally debt-free that understands the psychological piece in Japan, and I would say, hey, here's my money. Do your thing. That's going to bring me some money. That's all. I don't need to know anything. I just need to know I already know the pieces, and I know the people to pick. You understand? Once we figure out the game, how do we get out of the game? Once you figure out the game, well, the only way you get out of the game, you got to leave the United States. So there is no getting out. If you want to get out, you got to leave. There is no getting out the game. It's a choice of how you want to play the game. If you want to play the game on the negative side of the game, that's you. It has 4 parts: positive, negative, physical, psychological. Debt slaves are on the negative side of capitalism. They're on the negative side. We're on the positive side, positive and psychological. How do you get the chains off? You come see me, and I'll help you do that. Thank you, sir. Here is the website. You can schedule a consultation right there. And those of you that are listening, SavingsMinusDebt.com, SavingsMinusDebt.com. That is my website. Shea says, a question for the professor himself. Okay. What do you say to those who say it is wise to leverage debt? Example, getting a mortgage for a house and then profiting on the appreciation said house. Okay. Good question. So the word leverage is a name made up by the bank. When you get a loan, you're being leveraged. This is you. You're not getting over on the bank because you came to them. All right. But anybody telling you that, hey, this is leverage, appreciation, equity, and if this is you and you believe what she's saying in there, all you got to do is this: open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and hit equal. That large negative number you see on the calculator, that is your leverage, that is your appreciation, that is your equity, that is your home ownership, that is everything that you believe it is right there. That's it. That's it. And if you're a young person and somebody's saying that to you, all you have to do is this. This is how you know if they're using the word leverage negatively. Hey, I'm going to leverage this, my house or whatever. Do you have a mortgage? If they say yes, they're talking about leverage negatively because they're being leveraged. That's negative. Hey, my house appreciated. I've been living here 5 years and my house appreciated this much. You say to the person, do you have a mortgage? Yes. That nothing appreciated for them at all. They don't even own the house. Houses only appreciate for the owner of the house. If you have a mortgage, you don't own nothing. Mortgages by people, not houses. Mortgages can't buy a house. Who told you that? The bank? Your friends? All your friends with mortgages told you that, huh? Did they say, hey, their house is appreciating and they have a mortgage? They don't know what they're talking about. That's the psychological part. People with mortgages, they don't know that they don't own nothing. They don't own nothing. Never have, because they didn't have the money in the first place. You go to a house, this is all you have to do if you think this is how you know if you're ready to buy a house. You go look at the house you want, that you believe you can afford. Say like the house is $400,000. All you got to do is this. You can be looking at the sign, pull up your bank account on your phone, pull it up, log in, do whatever you got to do, and see if you have $400,000 in your bank account. If you don't, guess what? You can't buy the house. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't buy the house. But you can finance it. The bank has options for that, yes. So if you go to the bank and get approved for financing the house, and after all the paperwork you sign in the office, you walk out of the bank and you believe you're a homeowner, you have a psychological problem. You didn't have the money to buy it. You go to the bank, they let you borrow the money, and you think you own the house? No, you don't. That's called business. You better get you some. That's called business. It's not profit. It is a commission check when you have a mortgage. Sure is, man. People think, and don't get me wrong, it had me too. I thought I was a homeowner with a mortgage. I thought the same thing. I did. When you're a young adult, you don't know who to listen to. You think you're supposed to have some kids. You think you're supposed to be married by now. You think you're supposed to have you're missing out if you don't jump on real estate. You guys don't know. Anybody that's talking to you about any real estate equals money, you don't know if they're talking about real estate negatively or real estate positively. Like here, let me give you an example. So, because this confuses debt slaves when you don't know there's a psychological piece in capitalism. Debt slaves, you guys don't know the difference between personal debt and business debt. You guys don't know the difference. You guys think you think debt is debt, and you think it's different. So when you hear people like Robert Kiyosaki say, "Hey, debt is good. Debt is this. Debt makes me money." Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I'm sure that's all true. Yes, yes. But he's talking about business debt slaves. He's not talking about personal debt. You guys don't know that. It's not Robert's job to tell you the difference of why and what and what's the purpose of that and all this other stuff. That's on you. So if you run out, you say, "Oh, Robert did it." And then you run out and go finance a house in your personal name, and then you go ahead and put a renter in it. And you say, "Hey, here, renter," and put it. No, you're doing it all wrong. All wrong. You just got into personal debt. And say like you fall for one of your friends say, "Hey man, I refinanced my house, took that money, put a down payment on a rental property. And now my mortgage payment for the rental property is $2,000, but I put the renter in there and I charged them $3,000. That means I'm cash flowing $1,000. No, you're not. You just have 3 mortgages. You don't start, according to the laws of mathematics, you don't start cash flowing until all 3 mortgages are paid back. You think you get the cash flow before the bank that gave you the money to acquire any of that? So that's a psychological problem. You know how many videos are out on the internet talking about cash flow? That you can't cash flow from a mortgage property? Who told you that? You cannot cash flow from a mortgaged property. According to who? The laws of mathematics says that. Who else? Oh, you watched a video. You watched the video and they say you can. Well, that's not true. That's your problem. How do you help people get out of debt? What happens after the consultation? How many consultations is needed before I see results? Because I had negative experience with people wanting now. This is what I suggest to you, Kathleen, okay? Because and nothing's wrong with your question. Nothing's I don't want you to think that, and I'm not bragging. I have about 1,000 videos on YouTube. This is what I suggest. Go watch all the videos. Just go through a whole bunch of them and then come back to me, because it almost sounds like I need to prove nothing negative. After, hey, I need these results fast. Well, I'm not that type of person. I don't do that. I don't do, hey, you need to see results really quickly. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to help you own yourself. And it's a slow process. It's not first you have to realize you don't, because when I hear you say things like, hey, how quickly can I see results? That's totally up to you. How quickly will you realize that you don't own yourself? Because I help you understand that part. Once you understand you truly do not own yourself, you create the speed. How long you want to remain a debt slave? Once you really understand that you're a debt slave and you don't own yourself, and then you start to think, well, shit, how long do I want to be a debt slave? How old am I right now? Oh, shit, I better get on it. Things will start to happen in your mind and start creating things to make it happen to be free. The only result that you will get from me is a positive one. That's guaranteed. That's positive, because I'm going to show you mathematically. It's not anything that you're going to not understand that I'm showing you. It's not going to be anything. You're not going to walk away from me saying, I didn't really understand anything he said. No, I'm just going to show you mathematically. And the consultation is more because I do understand that there is nobody that does what I do. There's nobody that does what I do. Nobody. My consultations are more for people. First of all, it's for the serious people because I don't really want to waste my time on anybody, right? To talk to me so they can fully understand what my service is going to provide for them. What does it mean to say, I help you own yourself? I've never, most people have never heard that in their life. They're like, what does that mean? What's that mean? So I prove it with all videos, thousands of, over 1,000 videos for people to watch. So you can grasp and say, yeah, he has shown his entire credit report in a video. Nobody's ever done that in the history of the internet. Nobody, I don't know anybody that has done that. That should tell you something. I always do things and make videos in a way that nobody else does because I know there's a psychological piece in capitalism. That's how I know that. That's going to take some research. That's going to take you a Google search. Best mortgage in the United States of America. Not many people Google that, I promise you. Thank you, Pastor. I agree with mostly everything you are saying, just asking questions to stimulate the high. No, I appreciate that. When I give people responses, I really am here to help you. I'm already here. Everything I'm showing is with mathematics. It's not like I'm making up anything. It's not like I'm trying to sell you something. If you want to put it this way, if you ever watch Star Trek, put it this way. If you ever watch Star Trek, when they got on the platform to beam down to other planets, if you come to me directly, I will beam you light years ahead of millions of people. That's like stepping on the transporter and beaming you financially ahead of millions of people. Millions of people don't know there's a psychological piece in capitalism. They don't know that. This is clear. When I punched in the numbers on a mortgage calculator, I was baffled to see the ratio between what the bank makes from a debt slave in interest versus the principal paid. That's why they do that. That's why you guys got to understand this. First of all, how many people you think know you cannot buy a house with a mortgage? Not many. They wouldn't even understand it if you said it to them. Hey, you can't buy a house with a mortgage, right? They'll be like, what are you talking about? What? My friends are doing it. Everybody around me. What do you mean? The housing market wouldn't exist, and then they would just go on and on and on running the program. They don't know that they're running the program. They don't know that they're saying things that are not mathematically true. That's part of the program. When you know this, your whole perspective, it's the same world, but your whole perspective of the economy changes. Oh, it's them. When somebody comes out with a new cryptocurrency, you know what I said? You know what I say to myself? What are they trying to make you guys do now? Because you guys jump on anything that you guys think is going to make money really, really fast, and somehow the government's not going to find out and they won't be able to tax us. You guys are all over it. The scammers, they know what to put on the hook. They know what to say to you, think something, but you guys don't know it's you. All the currency, cryptocurrency, paper money, it's all you. You guys don't know that. So they just say things. Hey, you want to be your own boss? You want to, hey, the government can't find this in taxes. They can't. That's all. Who's saying that? Who? Somebody committing tax evasion? Who's doing that? And you're going to follow them because you just believe them? You guys know that doesn't happen anymore. You just watch. It's like the lottery. It's the same thing. When the lottery gets up to some kind of $1 billion, you guys start fantasizing. Oh my God, you know what I would do? Don't worry about it because you're not going to get it. Stop thinking about that. That's a program. You're not going to, you know what I would do with 7.5 billion? I would give my mama some and this. You're getting on the news and saying that too? You're saying in front of TV cameras? Oh, no. This is what you guys got to pay attention to. When the lotteries get really, really big, pay attention to the neighborhoods where the news people go. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Pay attention to the neighborhoods where they go to interview people that hope to win. That's all you got to do is pay attention to that. Hey, it's just business. I don't care that they do it. I'm just saying it's business. Just pay attention to it. I already know that. That's why I'm asking the question. Great. I love the questions. Will open your eyes. I do understand. I don't own myself. I'm in debt. That's why I'm here listening. But I'm currently not working. And that's why I ask those questions. I also know it takes me time to put it this way. Okay. I'm going to show you this, Kathleen, and I'm going to give you some advice. And remember, I always give legal, nothing illegal. I don't know how much debt you have. I don't know what it consists of. But if you're not working, it counts on the amount of your debt. Go see a lawyer. Go see a bankruptcy lawyer and say, I want Chapter 7 and clear it. Now, it's not going to clear student loan debt. I'm just saying something to you. This is your legal option. Now, don't listen to debt slaves believing that bankruptcy is for losers. Do not listen to them. Okay. Like now you'll hear most debt slaves that you got to remember this. This is why just the program is just amazing, right? So they're like, okay, you mean I can file bankruptcy, but I get to keep all my stuff that got me into bankruptcy? Yeah, that's called bankruptcy Chapter 13. You know how many debt slaves that you guys don't know have filed Chapter 13 bankruptcy? The reason why that's in place, so you guys can still file bankruptcy, but the people around you are not going to know because you get to keep all your shit that got you there. And then you guys go finance more stuff. They'll put you in Chapter 13 bankruptcy, shrink down your thing to a certain amount payment per month. And you know what you guys will do? Believe you have extra money and go finance more shit. But what you need to do, if you're not working and you got a lot of debt and you don't think you're going to ever go find a lawyer. Do not do it yourself. I don't care what anybody says. You go hire a professional attorney and get you filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy. That way you're automatically at zero right now. From this point on, that's why it's there. It's there for a purpose. For people that, for me, when I look at Chapter 7 bankruptcy, it's for people that have woken up. That know it's like, oh, I've been doing it all wrong. The system says, here's Chapter 7 bankruptcy. You can start all over. And come back and do it right. Not do the same thing that got you to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. That's why you're only going to do Chapter 7 like every 8 to 10 years, but you can do Chapter 13 repeatedly over and over. Why is that? That's all you guys got to say to yourself. Why is that? Because this one's more important. When you get Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you should be happy that you got it. Not everybody gets it. That's not an automatic. But if you're in debt with no job, you go see a lawyer, I don't see them turning you down. I don't really see them. But it counts on how much you have. Chapter 7 will allow you to start at zero, starting at the bankruptcy. Boom, zero. With this knowledge, understanding that's a psychological piece in capitalism, you do Chapter 7, you get to start right there. That's it. Then you come on the positive side, the psychological side, and then you participate in the system properly. Create a successful business, pay all your taxes properly, make sure you file your taxes every single year, local, state, make sure you have all your proper licenses that you're supposed to have to do business, all that. Listen, for all you business owners, how many business owners do you think are doing that? Doing everything they're supposed to do down correctly, exact money, where their location is, IRS knows this, filing every 2, 3, 6, 7, whatever they're supposed to do. How many people you think do that on time, every time? That's me. I do that. How many people you think the IRS see doing everything properly? Not many. Not many. Because the majority of you guys hate taxes. You hate them because they're you. You guys finance them. You pay interest on them. Tip says, hi, LJ. What kind of plans do you put together to help pay off student loan debt? I put plans together to help you own yourself. And if you have student loan debt, your student loan debt is part of that plan. So it will count on where you are at in your debt thing that I create for you, where student loan debt falls in. Usually student loan debt, for the majority of my clients, student loan debt is usually last because it's usually the biggest. The biggest debt is last. It pretty much follows, put it this way, so everybody understand, it pretty much follows Dave Ramsey's plan. So if you are looking for how to get out of debt this way, I suggest going to Dave Ramsey, right? That's what I suggest, because he has everything in place for that. You guys can go do that. I do it a different way, but you can, if you want to do that, he has everything in place. But once you get to zero and then you own yourself, then you come see me. Then you come see me and I will help you from there, because at that point, you will already know you own yourself, and I will help you understand the psychological piece in capitalism. That's what I do. What do you think of offer in compromise for what do you think of offer in compromise for taxes you owe? I'm not sure what you're saying. You owe, are you saying you owe in taxes and you're trying to compromise on what? What are you trying to compromise on? Is filing bankruptcy is like dishonest? No. If you have a job, I mean, if you don't have a job and you have a lot of debt, there's nothing dishonest about it, because like when you hear people say that, you got to say what's there. It can't be dishonest because it exists. The system, the whole system, they added that in there for a reason. Now, this is what the system has things in place for. People that abuse it. People that abuse, because I remember like Chapter 7 years ago, I think you could file quicker. I think it was every 3 to 4 years, Chapter 7, and then they bumped that shit up to 10. But you can do Chapter 7 as many times as you want, because Chapter 13 as many times as you want, because it's designed for debt slaves. The reason why the majority of debt slaves are so scared to file Chapter 7, because they take away everything. If you're in a house, you have a car, that Chapter 7 says, we're taking all that. That goes back to the owners. Debt slaves don't want to do that. Because if that happens, all the debt slaves around you are like, hey, so-and-so lost their house. They're driving an old car now. They don't have that Lexus anymore. You guys let your ego get in front of it. But what you guys don't realize, all of the people that are looking at you, talking like that, they're all making payments. All of those people judging you, they don't own shit. They don't own nothing. They don't own anything, nothing. But they don't know it. Now, when you own yourself and you come on the positive side and the psychological side, you're not going to care about the opinions of people that do not own themselves. You're not going to care what they think. You're not going to care what they wear. You're not going to care what kind of shoes or car they drive. If they're making payments, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. They don't know that. Put it this way. How many people, look how many Teslas are out there, okay? You see how many Teslas are out there? I guarantee you the percentage of people that have financed Teslas have to be in the 90s. It has to be. Everybody that's driving a financed Tesla, they don't know that they're not saving any kind of money on gasoline or nothing. Debt slaves don't know it doesn't matter how a finance car is powered. That's irrelevant. They're not saving anything on nothing. They're making payments, period. Look, I filled this up for $50. If I would have went to the gas, what? You find, oh, hold up. You financed your charging. First, you're in a finance car that you're sitting there for fucking 45 minutes charging it. There is no way in hell you would sit at a gas pump for 40 minutes filling your car. You'd be like, hell no. But you'll do it for a finance electric car, you will, debt slave. That's what you'll do. And you'll sit there and then you'll pull out a credit card to finance the electricity to charge it. And then make a video talking to you guys, all you followers, talking to you guys, hey, look how much money I saved driving across country. You didn't save nothing. You didn't save anything. Is that a finance Tesla? Yeah, you didn't save nothing. All the statistical numbers that these guys give you with finance Teslas, those statistics are good, but they're talking about that's the money saved by people who pay cash for Teslas. All the statistics that they're giving you, that's people who pay cash save that money. You can't save money on a car that you didn't have the money to buy in cash. You can't do that. You think they know that? They don't. None of them know that. Wow, look how fast it is. So what? Who cares how fast it is? So what? Did you pay cash for that plaid? Then who cares if it goes to 0 and 60 in 2 seconds? So what? Your wallet's still way back there. No, bankruptcy is a key to the American system functioning properly. It sure is. All of it. Listen, all of it's key. Everything's key. That's they wouldn't have put it there, you guys. They wouldn't have put it there. Business use bankruptcy all the time. And don't listen. Businesses should tell you that, hey, we use this all the time. But you guys are so terrified to use it for the business of yourself. You guys don't even. I owe at least $20,000 in taxes. There's an agreement called offer in compromise with the IRS to clear your debt. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I would be, if you came to me, first I would help you figure out why you owe $20,000 in taxes. First, I would help you figure that out. Because that's a lot to owe in taxes. So I would help you figure out why that happened. Now, I'm sure you have an idea of how it happened. I'm sure, of course, but I help you figure out why it really happened. Like, put it this way, and this is just my opinion, okay? When I used to have a job on the W-2 form, I think it's the W-2, right? Where you could check a box. There's a box there that says, make me exempt from taxes. Excuse me. Make me exempt from taxes or something like that, right? So there's this box, right? And I used to always say to myself, why is that box there? That doesn't make the tax. You have to pay taxes. That's the law. Why is that box there? Do you know how many people check that box and never go back? There are debt slaves that will check that box, stop getting taxes taken out of their check, and then adjust their lives according to the additional money of not paying taxes. They'll check that box and then go finance a car that they've always wanted. And then leave it like that for a couple years. Now I understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism, but I always have to think, I try to put myself in the mind of a debt slave. Like, you check that box, no taxes, but you already know taxes. You must pay taxes in the United States of America. That's by law. But you check that box, and then you forget about it and let it go on for like 2 years. Now, you have to know that your employer is reporting to the IRS that you checked that box. They are, of course. They have to. are you just living your life like it never happened? Or, I'm thinking, are you living your life like it? Do you think they're never gonna? Do you think you're so small in the system that they're not gonna come knocking at your door? I just wonder. I just think, I'm like, why? But what you guys really don't know you're doing is that you are really selling yourself. You're selling yourself. Because that's the law. That's the law. You're not going to be able to say, hey, I didn't know. I forgot. I checked the box. I only meant to do it for two. Not all of that is irrelevant. I just knew not to check that box. I'm just like, no, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. Chapter 7 type bankruptcy is rare from a country perspective. Wow. You guys, most of you guys, especially debt slaves, you guys have no idea that piece right there of chapter 7 being in there. It is just debt slaves will make you believe if you do that chapter 7, you're a loser. But what you guys don't understand, debt slaves, you guys have no idea how many of your friends have filed bankruptcy under chapter 13. You can't tell. They still have their car. They still have their house. To you on the outside, it looked like they still have everything, but they filed for chapter 13 bankruptcy. You guys can't see it. You guys all use it. Lawyers are making a killing off of you guys, just refiling over and over. But you guys don't know in the background, all your stuff that's wrapped up in there, all that interest is still accumulating. It's sort of like when you put your student loan debt into some kind of deterred thing, whatever, and you only pay minimum payments every month. The interest is still accruing. The interest doesn't stop. So when you mess up in chapter 13, they just bring it all back. And guess what you're going to be filing when you do chapter 13 again? The same shit, but with more interest. And you're going to pay the lawyer each and every time you file. You guys don't know. All you got to do is this. You guys won't tell each other. That's a secret amongst debt slaves. You will not tell another debt slave, even if it's a close friend, that you filed for chapter 13 bankruptcy. Sure won't. You guys are only fooling yourselves. I know why chapter 13 bankruptcy is there. It's for debt slaves. It's for you guys. They got to give you some kind of way out, because if you guys all got caught up and no way out, you guys will wake up and be like, hey, wait a minute. We all don't own shit. No, you don't. We can't have that. That can't happen. That can't happen. So you got to have some kind of exit way. I'm saving money on gas with my Tesla while paying $900 a month in car payments. You're right. I know, right? Can you imagine what they're paying in car payments and Tesla payments? People that own Teslas, let me stop picking on Tesla like Tesla. It doesn't matter the manufacturer. Electric car, if you're making payments on making a payment on electric car should tell you that you're not saving money on gas. The payment, and listen, and the insurance. Nobody really talks about Tesla insurance. You notice that? They always talk about how much money they're saving in electricity, gas, or whatever, right? But they never talk about that insurance. Do you guys know this? You guys, debt slaves, you guys don't know this. Every person that has a financed Tesla is paying a different price. So if you see it, say like there's a particular Tesla that you want, right? And it's $50,000. All of you guys are financing it, right? That means every single person that finances the $50,000 Tesla has a different price according to their credit score, their interest rate, how many months are they financing, did they need a co-signer, did they need extended, do they need to get gap insurance, what kind of insurance, every price is different. You guys don't even realize the majority of people are going to finance an electric car. They come to they buy the car, you know what they're doing? Rolling negative equity that they have in their old gas car, roll it into the Tesla, and then believe they're saving money on gas. Oh, debt slaves. God damn. Most cars at the dealership are financing maybe 90% for sure. Do you guys know car lots couldn't exist if you guys didn't finance cars? You think car lots exist because people are paying cash for cars? No. 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 If people paying cash for cars, car lots wouldn't exist. You think CarMax would be that big? They wouldn't. You think Apple would be as big as they are? They wouldn't. You guys finance phones. You guys don't have cash for phones. You guys don't. You don't have $1,500 for a new flip phone. Flip phones are. Hey, listen, those flip phones, those big ones, those are like $2,000. You guys don't have $2,000 for a phone. No, you don't. Mm-mm. When I see somebody with a flip phone, I know it's financed. How much was that phone? They love to tell you too. That's like, oh man, it's like $2,500. You just told me that out loud in public. All you got to do is this is how you know. This is all you have to know, okay? This is what you got to do. If you see somebody with one of those new flip phones, all you got to do is look to see if there's a carrier's name branded on it. If there's a carrier's name branded on it, it's probably financed. Because if I wanted a flip phone, I'm getting a factory unlocked phone from the manufacturer. No carrier's name's going to be on it because that's how I'm buying it. Debt slaves, you guys don't know that. If this is you and you have a phone with the carrier's name on it, it's because you financed it. That's why. That's why. So all the fun. Did you guys know factory unlocked phone of your same phone is probably different? The carrier gets to dictate the image that they put on their phones. They say, hey, maybe we don't want them to have that feature. We'll give them that one. We'll pause that one. We'll make them pay for that one. That's because you're financing the phones. They get to do whatever they want. I figured that out the hard way just recently. I didn't even know that. Okay, check this out. This is how I found out, okay? When they was turning off the 3G, I was with AT&T, okay? And then I had this particular Note 8, this particular model Note 8, and it said, if you have this Note 8, this model number, right? It says, you will still be able to work. Your phone will be able to work. And I was like, cool, shit. I don't have to worry about that 3G stuff turning off. And then what happened when my phone got turned off? I mean, when 3G got turned off, my phone stopped working. I was like, what? AT&T said my phone would work. And this one, AT&T was showing me. I looked at the serial numbers. Well, when you have a factory unlocked phone, you have a particular serial number. It usually ends with U1 or something like that, right? They said that version, this is what you'll see too. Same phone, but if the phone is with AT&T, it's going to have a different model number. If the phone was with Verizon, it's going to have a different model. That's their versions of that phone from the company. The companies obviously get to say this. Hey, we want our phones with this stuff in it. What about because when you get your phone from the company, you have what's called bloatware. If you go Verizon, you got a whole bunch of Verizon shit, right? Because it's their phone and you're financing it, so they have the right to put it all over it. When you get a factory unlocked phone, you don't have any of that. But you guys can't get that because you guys finance phones. They don't finance factory unlocked phones. Carriers don't do that. They don't. You can't walk into a carrier and say, "Hey, can you guys finance a factory unlocked phone?" They're gonna be like, "Nope, Yes, you do. Tax attorney, strong, a debt-free tax attorney, Andre. Debt-free tax attorney. Anything you guys hear me talk about taxes and this and that, go find you a debt-free. Personally debt-free tax attorney and tell them LJ sent you, okay? I help you find the people that you need to get in the system right. And I don't even know anything about it. I know a little bit about taxes, but not like, hey, you should do this and that. No, nope. I just know taxes are you. That's all I need to know. Taxes are debt slaves. Become an Uber driver and pay that off in the next year with a second job. Yes, that's the only way you can do it. Yeah, but it resets every year, so they have to check the box annually. Oh, wow. Okay, didn't know that. I've never done it, so I filed Chapter 7 20 years ago, but really didn't understand that I had a fresh start. I will schedule a consult with you next month. When I get paid, I check the box, mistakes. And Kathleen, I want you to understand something too. Those are only mistakes if you don't learn from them. Because those mistakes you feel. And once I bring you to this side, once you understand the psychological piece, it helps you never experience that feeling anymore. When you tell the story about what you did, whatever, you're going to say it with feeling because you experienced it. You're like, oh man, I checked that box. Ooh, But if somebody tries to tell another person about the check box and never really has experienced it, they're not going to be able to tell the story the same way you will. I went on a date with a guy this fall that had that new Samsung flip phone. He was so excited to show off his new phone. I was actually embarrassed for him. He was not an alien. Yeah. Think of how many people got one of those new big wide flip phones that financed it. You know how much? Go look up how much it cost those phones. And then you say like this is your friend. Go look up the price it costs to buy that phone in cash. And then I want you to think to yourself, does my friend have do they have $2,500 to drop on the phone? Wasn't they just asking me for $50 until payday? Just say, hey man, I'll get you back in 2 weeks when I get paid. They come out with a brand new flip phone, but borrow $50. This is what you do. Anybody that come up to you and this is what you got to understand. If you got a friend that comes up to you and says, hey, can I borrow $50 until payday, until 2 weeks from now? First, this is what you say. If you can and say like payday is 2 weeks away, okay? You say this. If you can teach me how to make $50 stretch for 2 weeks, you can have that $50. That's what you say. You say, if you can teach me how to make $50 stretch for 2 weeks, you can have it. The reason why I'm saying that because they can't. So that means automatically that they're asking multiple people, can they borrow money until payday? That's what that means. Do you think they don't know that they're saying that? Okay. I'm saying this for you. This is part of understanding there's a psychological piece in capitalism. They don't know that you can't stretch $50 for 2 weeks, but they're going to do that. They're not. So now you know that they're doing it to multiple people. So when that friend says that to you, you say, no. Can I borrow 50? No. Why not? Because I don't want to. Don't beat around the bush. You just say, I don't want to. No. Don't make up a story. Oh, I got to do this and I got to pay for that. You say, no. Why not? You let me do it before. Well, I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to do it now. That's exactly how you say it. Look them in the eye. Don't be looking around. Don't be, oh man, you look at them and say, no, because I don't want to. That's all you got to do. Only reason Apple is $1 trillion company is because most people finance their phone. Well, they have an awesome product too. Okay. Now, even though I say, of course, we know that Apple couldn't be as big as they are because people finance I guarantee you 90 something % of Apple products are financed. Okay. debt slaves have no money. They have no money, but yet people get new phones every single year because they're stuck in the phone loop now. Like say like this, say like there's a person, there's many of you guys that finance your phone every single year. And then all of a sudden you come across this channel, then you wake up and say, oh shit, I got to get out of that phone loop. That means the only way you can get out of that, you got to pay all that stuff off that you owe whoever you're financing your phone with. Not only do you have to pay your phone off, you have to pay off the remaining, the remaining bill or whatever is off in your AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever. You got to pay all that off for you to get out. That takes time. You're going to have to get through people saying, oh my God, you've had that iPhone for 2 years now. It's time for you to upgrade. Hey, the new iPhone does this and that, and you can do this and pinch that, and the camera does this and this. It doesn't matter if they're financing the phone. Who cares what that phone does? Who cares what that phone does? Here, let me show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys an article that was sent to me by an SMD family member. And I'm going to translate this article for you. Let me see if I can do this right here. Okay. Okay, check this out. Okay, somebody sent me this in email. Okay. Now I'm going to read this to you from the psychological understanding that capitalism has a psychological piece. All right. I want to meet now this is a woman. Okay. I want to meet someone rich. First of all, you got to figure out what her version of rich is. Anybody you hear, remember, rich is part of the finance game. Are they talking about positive rich? Or are they talking about negative rich? Rich is positive and negative. I'm 46. Is that so wrong? No, it's not wrong. You want whatever you want. I'm 46, earn $210,000 a year. You're probably thinking, woo, oh my God, that's a lot of money. According to people that have never made that amount of money, okay? Just always remember, it's all a perspective, okay? That's why these market watch places do articles like this, because they get big numbers to make your eyes big, you know? And listen to her words, and own a $700,000 house. Okay? Remember the words. Is she talking about positive own or is she talking about negative own? Let's go in the article and find out. I'm tired of dating losers. A loser according to who? I've reached a point in my life where I want to settle down, but I recently, 46, okay, but I recently had a disagreement with a friend about my priorities, and I would appreciate your perspective talking to the article person. We never go into the article person because they never give the right advice anymore. I'm 46, college-educated singleton, and earn $210,000, not including my annual bonus. Ooh, I make $210 plus more money. That's just to pump you up, okay? I paid off my student loans. Listen what she says. I have paid off my student loans and own my home. Congratulations on paying off your student loans. Okay, congratulations. It's worth about $700,000, and there's about $400,000 left on the mortgage. What? Whoa! Time out. Let's go back to the sentence before. I have paid off my student loans and own my home. But you have $400,000 left on the mortgage. That means you own nothing. You don't own anything. You have no equity. No, she don't own anything. That's sign number one. She doesn't know there's a psychological piece in capitalism. Okay, she doesn't know. Now you come across a rich person on the positive side, meaning lots of money and no debt. And then you come across a woman that says, hey, I own my house too. And then she says, I have a mortgage. That automatically tells the rich person, I'm not dating you because you don't know that you don't own shit. How come he's not calling me anymore? Because you don't own nothing. You think you do. I don't feel like explaining that to you. You're 46. If you don't know that you don't own a house with a mortgage at age 46, that you're running out of time. I ain't got time for that. My friend expressed dismay when I told her that, but I see wealth as a sign that someone is ambitious and aims high. Is she talking about positive wealth or is she talking about negative wealth? We don't know, okay? To me, she sounded like negative wealth because she believes she owns a house with a mortgage. Let's see here. It's a time. But I see the wealth as. I'm sick of dating losers. The last person I dated had been living in the same rent-controlled apartment for nearly 20 years. Okay, she's specifying rent control like she don't know that mortgage payments are rent. I want you guys to pay attention to this, especially you guys that rent. Listen to the people with mortgages try to put you down because you rent. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. All right. For nearly 20 years, it's the size of my dining room. So you live by your house. You live by yourself, and you got a dining room that you probably never use the size of his apartment. She don't know what she's saying. Okay. I know living in a rent controlled apartment is something that is sought after uh, in in a city like Los Angeles and its environs, meaning surrounding areas. Maybe that was environs, yeah, the surrounding areas. Maybe that was good when he was 20, but he's nearly 50. Hmm. She believes age has something to do with it. Hmm. Am I being too judgmental? No, you're just being the average woman debt slave. That's all you're doing. She's not doing anything different. There's a lot of women debt slaves that think just like her. Hey, I need somebody rich. And what's rich got to do with it? Nothing. Whatever your version of anybody you hear say that, I'm looking for somebody rich. You turn to them and say, what is your version of rich? Somebody with a nice car? Making payments? I don't know. When I expressed my feelings about limiting my search to dating a wealthy man, she don't even know what wealthy means, my friend gave me a look and took a long, slow drink of her margarita. That was her way of showing disapproval. But I have to, but I have, but I have worked hard to have what I have, and she has nothing. I'm sure if she believes she owns a $700,000 house, I guarantee her car is financed too. And I don't see anything wrong with wanting a partner who has the same level of assets and ambitions as I have. I work in interior I work as an interior designer, and my business continues to grow. She love This is what I see. P.S. I come from oh god, there's more. P.S. I come from an upper middle class family, one that has always worked for what they have. My parents were both successful realtors. She's trying to make you guys believe she is this person that deserves to be with somebody rich or something. That's what she's doing. That's what she's doing. She don't know she's doing that. She don't know she's doing that. Uh-oh. I did not write that article. No, I don't think that at all. I'll stay in a 500 square foot apartment, zero debt with 100K in the case liquid. Exactly. I always tell people if you're new to the channel, once you own yourself, you'll know what that means. You'll know what that means. And you'll know what it took to get you there, right? When you start to hear the opinions of people that don't own themselves, aka debt slaves, you won't really care what they say about you or where you live, what kind of place you live, what kind of car you drive, because you'll know that they own nothing. They don't own anything. Everything in their life is financed. And that's how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be like that. They're supposed to go to YouTube channels about finance and let them tell how to invest. While, hey, yeah, you can invest while having student loan debt. Just no, you can't. You can't invest while having student loan debt. Most of the channels already know that you're going to gravitate to a channel that says you don't have to pay off your debt to get rich. Why? Because you don't want to pay off your debt. You don't want. They already know you don't want to pay off your student loan debt. They know that. You're looking at that amount. You're like, oh my God, if I wait that long, I'll never get a house. I'll never get a car. I'll never be able to travel if I pay off this. When you talk like that, you're talking as if you have a choice. You don't have a choice. You can't buy a house while having student loan debt. You can't do that. You can't go on a cruise while having student loan debt. You can't invest in your 401k. You can't get a 401k match. You can't do none of that. None of it. That's all. Listen, that's all business. The people that do invest in their retirement plans and stuff like that while having a mortgage, that's all business. You better get you some. That's called business. I don't care what the banks do. I don't I don't care how they do it. I don't care if the feds raise the interest rates on mortgage loans. Then don't get if you don't like what they're doing, don't get a mortgage. If you saw the feds raise the interest rates on mortgage loans, don't get a mortgage. Then you won't have to worry about what they did. That's for people that don't know. Okay, that's no, excuse me. That's for people that don't know, the majority, and that's for people that do know, the minority. When you see like put it this way, when you say like you say, "Oh man, the Fed's rate another 3/4 of a point," and you're sad about it, that's because you're on the negative side of it. The people on the positive side of it are like, wow, shit, we can get that Ferrari now." Yep, we sure can. If you come across a video that's trying to tell you that them raising the interest rates on something is a bad thing, you're on the wrong channel. That channel right there, they're telling you the negative side of the economy. That's what they're doing. You're on the wrong side. If you're on a channel that's always complaining about taxes and they're bad and evil and illegal and all this other stuff, you're on the wrong channel. That's the wrong channel. If you don't know whenever words are used inside of a math financial context, all the majority of words in finance are positive and negative. It all counts on who is telling you the word. If somebody is telling you how to invest and they have student loan debt, it doesn't even matter if it's a professional. Say like this. Say like you are paying for professional investment advice from a professional. Say like this. You're looking into invest, and the investor says, "Hey, come by my office." Right there, you're probably already impressed because the person has an office. You walk in, say like the office is really, really nice. Nice chairs and lobby area, whatever, right? And then you go back into the office. That's where you see all the really good lavish stuff, where they went to college and what they did and what they've gone, pictures of the kids, blah, blah, blah. They always have their college degrees up there. That's very important. Their college degrees let you know. They always say the year that they graduated. That's important. Always be impressed by it because when you walk in and it's right behind them, it's there because they want you to see it. So make sure you do. You go, "Oh, wow, you went to Howard? Oh, wow. You graduated back when?" "Oh, I graduated back in 1995, 7, whatever," right? Then you go, "Oh, okay. All right. All right. Wow. This is how you lead into the conversation. Woo, that's cool. Must have been expensive. Did you get student loans?" They're going to turn and say, "Oh, yeah, sure did. It was real, man. That's cool. I did a little this and that and this and that. But, I still had to pick up some student loans." Then you go, "Oh, okay. Do you still have them today?" And if they say yes, you leave because you go just like this. If they say yes, you take the year it is today, the year you went into their office, minus the year they graduated. And then you see this, they've been having student loan debt for 20 years. That's older than, hey, how long you been in business? "Oh, I've been in business for about 7 years." "Oh, shit, your student loans are 20 years old." And then they're about to sell you investment advice. They're gonna then you say, "Hey, this is what you do." They don't know why you're asking these questions. "Hey, what have you invested in?" This you ask them. What are the? Can you tell me a couple things that you've invested in? Then they'll start running off shit. "When did you invest in that?" "Oh, I did that about a couple years ago." You've had student loan debt for like 20 though. Okay. What else have you? "Oh yeah, and I flipped this and that. I got this interest off of this, and then it appraised this, and then I took that money and put it in this." You made all that money, but you still have student loan debt for 20 years. How much money have you made off? These are things that you're saying back and forth in your mind. How much money have you made off all those investments? Oh man, I made 110, 20,000 on this one, 50,000 on that one, this and that. You made all that money, but your student loans are 20 years old. That doesn't make any sense. You leave. They're about to sell you information from the negative perspective. That's what they're about to do. How do I know this? Because of the business of themselves. They don't know that. Can you imagine how many tax professionals are giving? How do you know if the person doing your taxes is not in tax trouble themselves? How do you know that? What if you find out, put it this way, what if you found out the person doing your taxes owes back taxes? And say like you were coming to them because you owed back taxes. What are they going to tell you? If they owe back taxes and you owe back taxes, what are they going to tell? What kind of information are they going to sell you? They're going to sell you negative information. Negative information. When you put it this way, when you understand there's a psychological piece in capitalism, you're going to walk through the system. First of all, you're going to be following all the financial laws. That's automatic. Okay. Again, like I said earlier, nobody will be able to financially fool you ever. Nobody. Because there's very few people that understand there's a psychological piece, and the people that do know there's a psychological piece are not out to fool you financially. Okay, I promise you that. They're not here to do that. So there will be very, very, very few people in the United States of America that would ever be able to financially fool you personally or business. Because you guys don't really understand. There's debt slaves personally, and there's debt slaves in business. You know how many people there are that believe they're business owners and own buildings and own stuff in their business? They don't own nothing. Say it like this. Say like a debt slave with student loan debt, mortgage payments, credit card payments. They decide to go into business. Guess what they automatically have to do? They automatically have to get a business loan because they don't have no money in the business of themselves to contribute to the business outside of themselves. They don't have any money. So now the bank owns them personally and business. They own their whole entire life. The whole time, listen, the same people that look down on people with apartments, they don't own their house and they don't even own their business. They don't own nothing and believe they're above you owning nothing. Oh, I'm a business owner. I'm a homeowner. No, you're not. Hold on for a quick second, you guys. Their whole life owning nothing. They don't know that. But when you have this information, especially if you're a tax person or accountant and you want to be the best in the United States of America, come see me. I'll help you do I will help you do that. You will be able to help. Say like you're a tax professional or a professional accountant, you will be able to help big businesses. They will be sought after. They will be looking for you, a person like you. Because I guarantee you, there's not enough. Businesses that are looking for anything to do with money in their business. It doesn't matter. Anything to say like this business is looking to streamline financially, get rid of people. They can't figure out who's embezzling. Money's leaking out somewhere and they just can't figure it out. You will be able to go in there and help them immediately, quickly. They won't even know how you're doing it. You'll be able to find all the people that are doing what they're not supposed to be doing. It's easy to find them. It's not hard at all, because those people, listen, people that do that, they don't understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. They don't even know it exists. So they don't know what they're doing that says to me what they're doing. You'll do accounting and taxes for them like never seen before. They won't even understand. I've never seen this before. I know. What's up, Gabriel? Merry Christmas. Is chapter 13 only for people with business? And no, that's personal. I think no, chapter 13 is the one you make payments on your stuff. And chapter 7 eliminates all debt, except student loan payments, student loans and IRS, stuff like that. Restitution, it's not gonna get rid of stuff like that. What's up, Geek Surgeon? And like I said, chapter 13 is more for debt slaves that want to. This is not said. I'm just giving you guys my opinion of what it really is. It's for debt slaves that are in financial trouble that really have to file for bankruptcy, but they don't want to show the outside world that they did, so they go for 13. They get to keep all their stuff, make payments on it a month. They get in trouble because they don't know how to make payments. And then they go and file chapter 13, get it consolidated, and then believe that they're going to start making payments on time, which they're not. They're going to fall out. Now they're going to owe more on the stuff that they have. It's just chapter 7 clears you. A lot of debt slaves don't go for chapter 7 because everything gets taken away from you. You don't get to keep nothing. Compile all the debt slaves, and you can find the yes, you can. You're probably thinking like this. Okay, let me give you an example. Say like you had a small business of, let's say 100 people. Okay, I don't know if that's considered big or small, but let's say like 100, because I want to make it. And a business is having problems financially, and they just can't figure out what's happening to the money. Okay. The first thing I would do is run the credit reports of all 100 people. Everybody get their credit report ran. You're probably thinking, why would I do that? The credit reports, I understand the psychological piece in capitalism. I understand that credit reports are owner ledgers. Your credit report tells me how many businesses own you, or if you own yourself, like mine. That's why I show my credit report. When I show my credit report live for everybody to see, you would clearly see there's no businesses on there. There's one page and nobody owns me. No business owns me. So that means the likelihood, say like I was part of the 100 and I came across my credit report as I ran everybody's credit report and saw myself, I would know immediately that Linnell didn't do it. Immediately. I would know right away. He didn't steal. He's not taking any money because he doesn't need it. He doesn't even need to work here. They will see that I don't even need to have that job, let alone steal from the job. So I would run everybody's credit report. That would help me eliminate about 50% of it right there. Boom, 50%. And then I would just go to the ones with the worst credit report. How they run the business of themselves. Their credit report will show me how you were treating the business of yourself. So if you treat the business of yourself horrible, you really don't care about any business outside of yourself at all. Likelihood it's going to be the person with collections, restitution, payments, late payments, tons of student loan debt ain't paid for in years. That would narrow things drastically. Okay, you guys got cameras on this? I would say, okay, do you guys have cameras on the times of when these people were working? All right, let's pull up that footage. It's going to be in there. It's going to be in there. The camera's going to show something. The person's going to do something weird that they don't normally get up and from the desk and walk around the corner and get up and then come back. They don't normally do that. Why are they doing it now while everybody's gone? You know how much businesses would pay for that? Businesses will pay for that. A lot of money for that. No, I don't know. I don't know. Is it considered small business? I don't know. I was just throwing some numbers out there. I absolutely love what I do. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Nobody does what I do. Nobody. Nobody does what I do. Nobody. I'm the only one that does what I do. Everything I say I can back up with math. It's all 100%. It's all 100% correct. Everything. I know you're a person, probably debt slave, like, who is he? But he's right. Damn. I don't like that. I don't like his ass, but he's right. Math is, the calculator keeps saying it. And, they be making jokes. Oh, here he is bringing out the calculator. People think it's funny. It's like, why? When I hear people joke about, when I come into rooms and it's like, oh, you better break out your calculator. I'm like, and they start laughing. I'm like, why are they laughing at the calculator? It doesn't make any sense to me. That's like, if this is you and you've done that, pull up your calculator app on your phone and then look at it and start laughing at it. Just go. That's what I see. When I see people make jokes, hey, the calculator, you better be a scholar graduate. What? You see all that? I don't see all that. When I open up my calculator app, it says, hey, put some numbers in me. That's all. That's all it says. Whatever numbers you put in there, I'll tell you the answer. That's what the calculator said. That's all. There's nothing funny about it, though. Yeah, that's small, but the owner of those 100 employees is definitely a millionaire. For sure. Definitely a millionaire. That's why I picked something like that, because I know people don't really understand when you create your own business, it's like your baby. Nobody's gonna love your business the way you do. Those are the businesses that I'm looking for. Those people that love their business like a baby and pissed off that there's somebody in there that's disrespecting their baby because they don't care about the business of themselves. They gotta go. Now, put it this way, like, this is the level that you need to get to. Okay, say like Gucci. Okay, let's go Gucci. People always complain and try to do videos on about, hey, Gucci only makes this bag for $90, but they sell it for $1,100. Look at the material they make it out. It's the same as that because it has nothing to do with the material of the bag. Gucci built that reputation. They built it. It doesn't matter that they're using whatever material. It's their name that goes on the bag. Why do you think people make imitations of the bag of the best? Of course, you become the best. You better believe there's going to be millions of people trying to copy you because you're the best. It is what it is. But the price of the Gucci bag doesn't matter. They built that name to deserve the price. You get to that level and you got all the people that buy your stuff, they advertise it for free. Not only do they advertise it for free, guess what? They advertise to everybody your prices too. They advertise your prices that you charge for your product. Hey, I got this Gucci belt for $1,000. And you're telling the world you paid $1,000 for a belt? Congratulations, Gucci. That's the level I'm trying to get at, where you don't really have to spend money on advertising because all your customers do it for you. Put on the shirts and, hey, look, this is Gucci. Gucci glasses, good, whatever, man. Free advertising. All the debt slaves financing their shit, saying, hey, you ain't nothing if you don't if you don't have Gucci. And then all the debt slaves believe it. Congratulations, Gucci. I'm sure that wasn't easy. I'm sure that wasn't easy. Sure it wasn't easy. People come up, hey, this material is way better than that Gucci shirt, and it's way $100,000. It's $500 less because it doesn't have nothing to do with the material of the shirt. It's psychological. If you justify in your brain that you're gonna pay $1,000 for a belt, that's your psychological perspective of a belt. When I look at a Gucci belt, I don't see $1,000 to pay. I don't see that. But then again, I don't make money like a debt slave. You guys use the time in your life. I don't. The business does that. The business pays for that stuff. I don't use the time of my life to pay for that stuff. I owe federal taxes, student loans, and credit cards. If I file Chapter 7, the student loans and taxes will be owed, right? Yes, taxes and, like I said, go see a professional, but I know you're not going to get rid of student loans and definitely not going to get rid of taxes because that's the backbone, right? But you also got to look at it this way, Kathleen. When you go see a tax professional, you say, I already know that taxes and whatever, right? But I don't know how much in credit card. This is what it really boils down to. If you added up all your debt and everything outside of the taxes and the student loan debt, how much is there? Because that's the only thing you're going to get rid of in Chapter 7. That's the only thing you'll get rid of. And how old are you? If you don't mind saying, how old are you? I mean, we don't know who you are anyway, but how old are you, Kathleen? Did you see the Payless shoe video? Did I see the Payless shoes video? Did I see? I don't know if I did or not. I'm not sure. I don't want to say no when I did. Any questions? Anybody want to know about positive and negative financial words? You guys want to know about that? If you hear me say there's a psychological piece in capitalism, do you really want to know more? You can ask me. You could ask me. Do you use any phone apps to track your finances? No, I don't do none of that. Nope, that's for those apps are for people that can't do that or don't want to do that. I'm not sure. I don't want to say can't do that, but I don't really have that much stuff to have to need an app. I don't really do stuff like that. I do. I have one credit card, Kathleen. I have one. And I use that to buy everything. And then I pay it off at the end of the month. So, and the reason why I do that is for more security purposes. It's like, I know there's a bunch of scammers and rip-off artists out there skimming cards or whatever, right? Credit card companies have trillions of dollars, right? I don't have trillions of dollars. So if they get the card, because you got to remember, credit card companies, they go by patterns. That's the only way they can do what they do, right? When they come across me, they know I understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism, clearly. Because first of all, they're not making hardly any money off of me. So, and I have a pattern. I have one credit card. This is what I do every single month. This is what I do. There's a pattern. He does what? What does he do, Geek Surgeon? I'll be yip yapping. Oh, he's talking. I don't know if he's talking about Young Villa or not. I'm not sure. Yes, I do. I do. Any questions? If you're new to the channel and I'm sure you have to have questions. I know you have to have questions because I'm sure you never heard anybody like me. And I'm not bragging to be saying that. I just know it's a fact. And we are going on 2 hours here. So this is what at 48, this is what I strongly suggest, Kathleen. If you ever want to if you ever want to feel what it's like to own yourself, you have to get on it. You gotta stop being you've come to the right place if you want to get accelerated, right? You just gotta, and I understand you go through, because I'm 53, you go through life not really knowing what to do with the money, and there's so many people scamming and this and that and taking your money. I'm just here to tell you that I'm none of that. I've proven that with being the only person that do what I do. I've proved it by showing my entire credit report. These are things I do, things that nobody else does to help people realize what I do. I've shown my entire credit report video for everybody to see. Nobody has ever done that. And it's up to you, not you, Kathleen, but just in general, if you're new to the channel, go find another person that has done it. That should tell you something, that I do something that many people do not do. Everything I do, many people do not do. 48, you need to you got to make some decisions. You do. You got to make some decisions. Rocket Money helped me find subscriptions, and I didn't know. Oh, the subscriptions it had. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get those particular type of apps that search for subscriptions. I get that because everything is subscription. So I don't have subscriptions like that. So I don't really need apps. That's whoever came up with those apps is perfect, because everybody has an app, and most of all those apps are subscriptions. People lose that. Debt slaves get lost. Besides making people believe they're homeowners, how else is capitalism psychological? That's a good question. How else is money is psychological? All kind of, like paper money in your pocket, that's psychological. Like say like you had $100 in your pocket right now, right? And then you open up the calculator, put in 100 minus your student loan payment, whatever, right? And then hit enter. The calculator will say you don't have $100 in your hand, which makes that $100 psychological because you're in debt. Anything, put it this way, anything in your life that's finance related is psychological. Everything. Like people really don't understand what that means. Like if you really went by the math, you would know that you have no money to buy food. You have no money to pay rent, but that would be bad for everybody to know that. They don't know that. I'm just saying on this channel, I'm just saying, you guys hear me say this. Debt slaves can't hear me. Because you're probably thinking, well, hey, Linnell, you're saying that out loud, and everybody know they can't hear nothing. That's how it works. You guys don't believe me? Go up to a person with a mortgage and say, hey, you're not a homeowner with a mortgage. They're going to look at you like you're speaking a different language. They're going to be like, what? I've been here for 15 years. You're telling me I'm not a homeowner? No, you're not. Since how long? Day one. You didn't have the money to buy it. You're crazy. I have so much appraisal, this value, this and that. And then they start running off all the words that the bank told them. When you come and understand that there's a psychological part in capitalism, your perspective will change. My perspective, when I go around and look at stuff in neighborhoods, like say like where I live, they're building a whole bunch of those community neighborhoods. Okay. I know who those houses are for. The majority of community houses like that are for people that do not know you can't buy a house with a mortgage. They get there, hey, I got a mortgage payment, I got insurance payments, and then I got HOA payments. They got payments after payments. That just tells you, payments say, I don't own the house. I don't own the house I don't own the land that it's on. I don't own anything because I'm making payments. I get it, totally understand it. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't care. I don't care what the banks do. I don't care how they do it. Doesn't matter, but that's how it's supposed to be. Those type of places are not for people like me. They're not. How much excess money do you recommend someone should have in their 20s after purchasing a house with cash? How much excess money do you recommend someone should have in their 20s after purchasing a house with cash? Well, if you got to the level of paying a house off in cash, you'll already know that you don't look at money like that anymore. Excess and too much, how much should I have for this? Once you're debt free, especially if you're debt free and you own a house, you don't look at money like that anymore, because I know the money is debt slaves. It's not like that anymore. Hey, how much do you think I need? And it doesn't matter, because you're saving money on taxes, you're earning phantom income, you're not making payments where you live, you're not making car payments. You have all this excess phantom income, tax savings. You don't think of money like that anymore. It's just there. Am I nuts due to only seeing red notes when I when I look at my money? Thanks, SMD. Of course. You just know. You got to remember. It's psychological. Both money is psychological, period. They just happen to print the green stuff. That's it. It's just they just decided to print it. That's all. That's it. The red ones and the green ones. When I show you guys that, here, let me show you. Oh. Of course, it had to fall all the way underneath it. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, check this out. This money is psychological. Okay, it doesn't. They just happen to print this one. Okay, this one they just print. Okay, this is both fake money. This is prop money, right? But look, both of these are psychological. They just happen to print this one. So when I noticed that, I was like, oh, they print this one. Okay, well, let me do the same with this. I didn't print, I bought this, right? But it's the same thing. You just the US says the only one you can use is this one. Don't try to do this one, because you go to prison. All right, understood? Won't be breaking any of those laws. And plus, if you walk into the bank or walk into a establishment and you lay this down to pay for the item, and the business took it, you guys should both go to jail. Okay, but this is just as real as this. I decided to not be a slave to my debt anymore. Now I just need to walk through the door of financial freedom. You're coming up on the hard part, Kathleen. That's the doing part. First, you have to accept. The first hard part is to accept that you're a debt slave. That's a very tough acceptance. You have to accept that. Once you do that, then you do I don't really consider it the hard. I mean, it is, because you got to get out of debt, but you have a goal to be free. That's your goal. Personally, now that I know what it feels like to be free, all I can say is thank God I woke up to know what it feels like before I die to be free. Man, you guys don't even get it. I hear you. I'm woke now and ready to start doing something about it. Yep. People, so crazy, man. And it's a gift. Again, if you ever watch Star Trek, then they stand on the teleporter to be teleported down to a planet. That is what I do for you financially. If you've been an average accountant, but you still love accounting, I can catapult you to light years ahead of everybody, millions of people. If you've been an average tax lawyer, tax professional, tax whatever, I can catapult you light years ahead of all your peers. They won't even know how you're doing it. Won't even know. Here's another example. If you're a debt slave and you're thinking about investing, but you don't know who to pick, this is all you got to do. Say like you live in a particular state and you're looking to do a particular type of investing. All you got to do is look and say, what type of licenses and credentials do you need to have to practice this type of investing in this state, in this city? Just look it up. Okay, you need this, you need that, and then when you go to look for an investor, so like you go to an investor's office, you walk in and say, "Do you have all this?" And this is another thing. This is what I forgot too. I just recently understood. I just recently found out that some states regulate people doing credit repairs type of shit, right? if you if you're looking for a credit repair person, which I do not do, I don't want you guys to confuse me with credit repair people. Okay, I don't do that. But I'm saying like this: some states even regulate that. I just found that out recently. Somebody got sued or some trouble, whatever. Right? Find out if your state regulates credit repair, right? And then you find out what does the state require for a person to have to do credit repair. You find out that information, and then when you go look for a credit repair person that does credit repair in your state or whatever state they are in, it doesn't matter because most of them are remote anyway. You just go to their state and look for the same thing and say, "Do you have these?" If they don't have them, you got with the wrong credit repair person because they're not even following the laws of which they work, which they do business. How do you think they're gonna treat you if they're not even treating the business of themselves right? It's all red to me now. Being a debt slave to the bank's house, I look forward to actually owning it one day. Yes, I can sell it and be immediately free. But and it's like this. You got to remember, even with a paid off house, you're free already. You just say, oh, it's going to take a little bit longer time to sell it, but you can leave anytime, right? That's people think you're trapped. You're only trapped if you have a mortgaged house. If you have a paid off house, you're not trapped at all. You're just like, okay, I'm ready to go. Sell it. You take that money and buy another house. Even if you needed this money to get a bank is not going to turn you down for the money to get a new quick house if you need a quick fast loan or you know what I'm saying. You won't even. They'll say hi, the bank will be like, "Hey, what do you have to back this house?" Oh, I'm taking. I got a paid off house. I'm gonna sell that. Oh, they'll be like, "Oh, hell yeah, okay, all right, here you go." Do you care to share your plans for SMD in 2023? Do you have any upcoming? No, I don't have. I usually share that with all. I want you. A lot of people. I want you guys to understand this too. What I'm doing has never been done before, right? So it's just I'm doing it as it's coming. Nobody's ever done what I'm doing. Nobody's ever said, "Hey, there's a psych." I've never heard that in my life that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. I have never heard that in my life, but I know it's mathematical fact, so it's true. I just discovered that. That means it was already here. So that means somebody else, a group of people, designed it. Okay. I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. SMD has made me super laser focused to pay it off. It will be within the next 3 years. I bet you. I bet you probably have it paid off faster than that, Arlene. I bet. Thank you, SMD. I will see green money afterwards. No more personal debt business. You know what? And that's the only thing I've never felt that before. To not not pay rent or mortgage every single month. I've never felt that before. The only time I felt that was when I was living at home, and that don't count. All right. Well, if there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Hold on for a quick second. All right. I guess I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. I'm happy to help a lot of people. I get a lot of people. Here, let me put this out here because I always forget this because people will email me. There's my email, SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com. CashApp is SavingsMinusDebt. And to make a consultation, SavingsMinusDebt.com. All right. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. Appreciate it, Andre, as always. You are welcome every day. What's up, Aaron? All the way from the UK. I want to thank you again, LJ. I'm at dinner and I don't have to worry. Don't have to worry. You know, so far you bring that up. I did the same thing on my birthday. Me and my woman went and had a excuse me. Me and my woman went and had a nice dinner. You don't even. I want to explain this to people too. You don't think about the bill like that anymore. You just don't. It just that doesn't come to your brain. You look at the menu. Your decision will no longer really be based on the price of the meal, right? It's not based on that. It's if you want it or not. It's totally up to you. You can, and I'm not saying just say like you have the money to have lobster every day when you go out to dinner. You're not necessarily going to have lobster every time. You're going to just have a basic meal, but the nights that are special and you might want to do that, you can do that without thinking about the only thing I think about when I get served is the service good. Well, the restaurant we go to, I always know the service is good, so they always get a good tip. But is the service good? Is the food good? Is the quality? That's why I'm here. That's what I pay for. That's the experience I pay for. I don't care. I don't really look at the bill like that. I think Dave Ramsey is good because without Dave Ramsey, I wouldn't be here today. If it wasn't Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and I always tell people that come to me that kind of give me, hey, I'd say, hey, you probably more like Dave Ramsey. You probably like his baby steps because my way follows the baby steps. But after, if you have a mortgage, say like you have a mortgage and you follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and then he says, okay, pay off all your debt except the mortgage and then start putting away 15% into retirement. Right there, you have a decision to make. Do you want to go along with Dave Ramsey's business plan? Because you cannot invest into you can't invest any percentage into retirement while having a mortgage. You can't do that. So if you want to go along with his business plan, you can. But if you want to continue on by owning yourself, by paying off your mortgage, because put it this way, there is no better investment than a paid off house. There is no, even the 15% you put into retirement, the stock is going to be doing this. If you have a paid off house, you never have rent or mortgage again for the rest of your life. So that means your mortgage that you're paying every day now, you take that same money and you just put it into a savings account. You're already used to it, not gone. You're already used to it. So say like your mortgage payment is $2,500 a month, right? And then you pay your house off. Don't stop doing it. You're already used to paying $2,500 for years. Just take it and put it into your savings account. Boom, $2,500. Now you go find me another stock that's going to pay you $2,500 a month constantly for the rest of your life. Go find one. Go find one. You're not going to find one. That's called business. There's nothing wrong with Dave doing that. That's called business. You better get you some. That's how business is done. But it's not Dave's fault if you believe that you can invest 15% into retirement while having a mortgage. That's your fault if you don't believe the calculator. That's nobody's fault but yours. You can't do that. Those people find me, and then I guide them to true freedom. And then you come out and you want to be like Dave Ramsey, you can be like Dave Ramsey. You could be, I'm going to do that. And then you'll come up with your own plan. Don't steal his stuff. I don't condone stealing anybody's property. Dave Ramsey worked hard to build his business. I don't suggest stealing from anybody. You come up with your own. You learn from the masters, which I did. Dave Ramsey is obviously the master. I took what I've learned from him and made my own. The one thing I love about what I do, there's not many people that understand there's a psychological part in capitalism. That's the advantage that I have. Oh, okay, cool. I'm getting more people from the UK listening. I want you guys, hey, UK listeners, I want you guys to spread me across UK. It's the same thing. UK is capitalism. I know you guys got different people in charge, the Queen and this and that, and this. It's all the same. The majority of you guys are debt slaves. It doesn't matter. Who cares? If that's their rules and laws, you got to follow it. They created it. You got to do it. But you can get on the positive side of your UK economy. You're just on the negative side of it. Get on the positive side of it. Like, put it this way, for the UK people, on TV, they always show us the palace, the kingdom where the queen and the kings live. When I see that palace, you know what that says to me? They obviously know that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. That's the only way you can do that. You have to know that. You have to know there's a psychological and piece in capitalism to have money like that. That's the only way. You have to know. Congratulations. That's clear. Oh, you guys do. Okay. All right. Well, over here, we always say, hey, what do the king and queen do? They don't do this. We have a president. We just don't call him king. He's called the president of the United States. We think it's different. It's the same, but we just call it the president. We don't call him the king. Okay, the president and the vice president, the king and the queen. If you want to say it, you can say it. It's just a name. Can you own land in the USA? What do you think of Dave Ramsey's strategy? I don't know. I do not know. There are no states that have no real estate property. There are no states that have no real estate property tax. Okay, let me say this so you guys can really understand about. Oh, you can't, because millions of you guys say, well, you never really own it anyway because the taxes. Well, if that's the case, then why are millions of people financing houses that they'll never truly own because of taxes? It doesn't make you guys got to say things that catch that doesn't make sense. Why you could finance a house for 30 years and never truly own it because of taxes? Yeah, that's true. Then why are you financing it? There's only so much land. If they let people buy, so like this, so like they let, well, debt slaves, you guys have no money to buy no land. Let me think about it outside the pitch. Okay, first of all, you guys have no money to buy anything. So stop talking about buying land because you don't have no money to buy anything. You don't even have money to buy a phone, let alone land. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. It's not even really no point to even talking about it. It really is not. If you have a finance phone, don't worry about taxes on land. Okay, don't worry about that. Just don't worry about it. There are 23 states, however, that have property taxes below 1%. Which state has the lowest property tax rate? Hawaii has the lowest property tax rate. Wow. So the high prices are to fool you. The expensive property to buy it is to, oh, wow. But the taxes are lowest. I didn't know that. I did not know that. The long run. I did not know that. Did not know that. Huh. Interesting. I did not know that. We take things like that for granted in the U.S. Yes, we do. We do. Not anymore, though. I'll tell you that. Wow. The lowest. People are so focused on the high prices in Hawaii to buy things. Wow. It says we are. I will be speaking to you next month. I will make it. Okay. I expect to see you there, Kathleen. Anytime. I'll always be here. Debt slave, no matter who is pulling the strings. We are, it's like this. Now that I understand the psychological piece in capitalism, I know where I was born. Okay. I know the rules were in place when I was born. They were already here. I understand. I'm 53 now. How I look at myself, to equivalate it to not equivalate it. I look at myself like a Elon Musk, a Albert Einstein. People try to say, hey, the Black Dave Ramsey. I don't do what Dave Ramsey does. I don't do what he does. Even though without him, I wouldn't be here today, but I don't do what he does. I thank him very much, though, for sure, without a doubt, but I don't do what he does. You have to own yourself before you control land. Taxes is just a benefit that you get later. Yes. First, put it this way, okay, for the people that come in late. Before you think about owning land, think about owning yourself first. Okay. Once you come out of the debt matrix, once you own yourself, you will see how it all works. Okay. You'll understand why things do the way they do, why taxes do that, and why you can get punished if you do tax evasion and don't. It's all part of the system, and you will understand that once you're out. You'll no longer be scared of IRS agents. Why? Because you'll be following the laws. What about your house tax write-off? That is the first thing people say to me when I say I'm almost done with my mortgage. See, Arlene, that's the program. Debt slaves. You can't write off taxes because you're in debt. You can't write off taxes on a mortgage. You can't do that. That's part of the program. You can't do that. You go here you are renting. Put it this way. Here you are renting with no mortgage, right? And then you say like you're renting, you have no mortgage and you have no debt, okay? A person with a mortgage convinces you that you're throwing away money on rent, so you go finance a house for $400,000. Now you went from zero debt to $400,000 below zero, 400,000 numbers below zero. And now you're happy to write off something on a $400,000 debt that you didn't have to have in the first place. And you're telling everybody, hey, you pay off your house, you can't get the tax write-off. When you say things like that, you're telling people that no, you don't know. Because you're happy to write off something that you don't have to have. You're happy to write off interest taxes on something that you don't even own. Can you imagine? Imagine you're the bank, you own a house, you own it, and you don't have to pay no taxes, insurance, upkeep, nothing. And you just receive payments. Nobody's going to call you, hey, my sink is broke. Nobody's going to call you, and you own it. Can you imagine being in that position? Congratulations. Congratulations, bank. Congratulations. And you have a person for 30 years. Listen, a person for 30 years doing it. And that's just one. And there's millions of debt slaves. Once you understand the psychological piece, you're going to respect the banks. You're going to respect them. You're like, oh, shit, damn. Now, I'm not talking about your local banks, the people that work in your branch where you can walk in and talk to them. You're not talking to these bankers. You're not talking to them. They're not talking to you. Andre, what do you think? What do you think the percentage of people in the United States of America knows the psychological part in capitalism? What's the percentage? What you think, Andre? The percentage of people that know there's a psychological piece in capitalism. What's the percentage? I don't even think it's one. What do you think it is, Andre? I think you said at 0.5 or some number you put in there. That's fucked up, man. God damn, PCA. Oh, mortgage deduction is like the 401k match. See, I would leave your office. I would leave your office, Andre. I would leave immediately. Oh, you piece. Bowing down gracefully. Oh, bowing down gracefully to you, Andre. It's a masterpiece. I respect it. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. To put all those pieces in place, and somebody had to say, we are going to create a system that has a physical piece and a psychological piece. Because here's another glitch in the debt matrix, which you guys don't really see. You can believe it or not. It really doesn't matter. But I remember one time, this is when I was a debt slave. I wanted to see how much they printed printed money for, right? Paper money, right? And I remember looking at, see how much let's just go with the numbers today that I know of. I don't know if it's changed or not. But $100 bill, they print for 17 cents. 17 cents they print a $100 bill for. Now, at that moment, there's a glitch in the debt matrix because you're holding a $100 bill that they printed for 17 cents. Now, that's a glitch in the debt matrix moment. Which one do you believe? Do you believe it's $100, or do you believe it's worth 17, or do you believe it's 17 cents? Which one is it worth? If they make a $100 bill for 17 cents, what is the bill's value? $100 or 17 cents? It doesn't matter, debt slaves, because it's you. 17 cents, the $100, they make them both. It's you, debt slaves. It doesn't matter if you're holding 17 cents in this hand and a $100 bill in this hand. They make them both for pennies because it's you, debt slaves. It's you. .01, 0.05. I believe that. I believe it's 0.05. I know you guys don't. If you're new to the channel, I would have no problem walking into the biggest bank in any big city and say, hey, who's the big person here? Yeah. I know capitalism has a psychological piece, and I'll see how they react. I wonder if some people will come down from the elevators. Hey, can we speak to you, sir? Come on in here. Can you keep it down, sir? Come on in. Can you keep that shit down? All right, yeah. Congratulations to you. All right. We've been knowing this for hundreds of years. You just knowing it for like one. Okay. Congratulations to you. I can't wait to meet those people. All you guys got to do is say like you come across this channel and you know somebody that has money or perceive to have money. Okay. But if you happen to know somebody that really has money and you show them my videos, because you guys got to understand, people with money, they know things that you don't when you're in debt. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. They know something different. But anyway, they'll come across my videos and will know that I know. They will know right away. They'll be like, oh, shit, yeah, he knows. They probably never have heard it called psychological peace and capitalism. They probably never heard it like that. But I'm going in 2023 with the only debt being the mortgage, and it have it by choice because you definitely advised me what I needed to do. I really appreciate your chatting during the consultation. You are welcome, Arlene. I'm excited for Arlene. People don't really understand this, and when you and I hope Arlene, I hope you're recognizing this, Arlene. When you have that in your head, and that goal is so strong, you always want to talk about it because it's there. You can damn near grab it and touch it. That's the goal that you need to have, like that. That's you always want to talk about it. Nobody, unfortunately, Arlene can only talk about it here. She can't talk about it outside of here because she's not gonna have any more friends. She's not gonna have no more coworkers. Oh man, I'm partnering up with Arlene. No, she just want to talk about that get out of debt stuff. I don't want to hear it. I want to own a bank. About 8,000 individuals worldwide are permanently wealthy. Wow, 8,000. Andre, is Dubai, is that capitalist? Is Dubai capitalist? S&D in 2022 has been the biggest eye opener. I have to admit, I was too comfortable being in debt with the mortgage. I wasn't disgusted enough. SMD woke my ass up. Yeah, the best thing I could say to people is this is the best thing. Know that when you're in debt, you don't own you. To the thought, listen, the even thought about me signing a mortgage, I get sick. I would literally get sick if don't get a 30, get a 15. I don't care if it's 5. You mean I'm going to sign a document to where I'm going to be tied to the bank for the next 5 years of my life? Hell no. I'll rent. I'll just rent. No. I'll rent and save up or something. No. Mm-mm. Now think of 30. You're signing papers agreeing for the bank to be in your life for the next 30 years of money, owing them money that you haven't even made yet. You haven't even made that money, and you don't even know if you're going to make it. That's why they front load all that shit, because you don't even know if you're going to have this payment 30 years from now. You don't even know if you're going to have the money for this payment 5 years from now. You don't even know. You don't even know that you're not even a homeowner with a mortgage. That's why it's called business. Did you know appreciation is positive and negative? That's when if you talk about appreciation, your house appreciating and you have a mortgage, you're talking about negative appreciation. Open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. See that large negative number? That's your appreciation negatively. If you bought a house cash for $200,000 and you kept it for 5 years and now it's worth $500,000, your house appreciated $300,000 because you own it. That's what that means. Not for you. Mortgaged houses don't appreciate. They don't do that. Not for you. Not for you. Okay? Not for you. No, I rent. I don't have a paid off house. I rent. Everywhere is capitalist. Really? I was wondering if it really even even China. Okay, you sending me some coded messages. All right, I get it, Andre. I get it. No matter what I Google, no matter what Google tells me, I see what you're saying. Just in a different way with a different name. Got it. Okay, because it has to be that way. The majority, yeah, it has to be. Because people are the economy, so it has to be that way. It can be in different forms, but it has to be that way. Okay. What's up, FIC Juice? What up, LJ? Respect and manners. Hello, hello. I rent. I cannot buy a house until I have cash to buy it. So I have no choice but to rent. I know that. I know I cannot buy a house until I have the money. So I know I have no choice but to rent. People with mortgages believe they had the option to buy, but they didn't. Debt slaves can't buy anything. They can't buy. This is what I need people to understand. Debt slaves can't buy nothing. So whenever you're out there, you're hearing mortgage versus rent. Remember, I want you guys to take away this, okay? Take away when you leave here tonight. Whenever you hear rent or mortgage, you got to remember those are words used in the context of finance money. So that automatically makes these words positive and negative. So if you rent and somebody comes to you talking about you're throwing away money on rent, you turn to that person and say, do you have a mortgage? If they say yes, they're talking about negative mortgage. They're talking about negative homeowner. They want you to match them negatively. Negative. Rent, if you put it this way, if you have no mortgage to buy a house, you have to rent. Unless you can find some place to live for free, which is highly unlikely. So you have to rent. People with mortgages own nothing. Once there is debt, it is capitalist. Got it. I didn't look at it that way. That makes sense. Once there's debt, it's capitalist. Okay. Interesting. Once there is somebody that owes a debt to another entity, that is capitalist. Doesn't even matter the name they stamp on it. The name actually just tells you the way it flows. If it's capitalist, it flows this way. The river runs this way. If it's this, it runs that way. My parents always encouraged getting a house as part of being an adult. And they don't know. And there's nothing wrong. If they're saying, hey, you need to get a house cash, that is true. But if they say, hey, being adult is getting a mortgage, that's not true. Being adult and getting a mortgage, they have nothing to do with each other. Nothing. The adult and mortgage have nothing to do with each other. Nothing. Being an adult means owning yourself your entire life. You guys in your 20s, this should be your goal. And you'll be rich and you'll be wealthy. Make sure you own yourself. You stay owning yourself your entire life. Nothing comes. I'm not talking about business debt. I'm talking about personally. Always own yourself your entire life and you'll have an unbelievable life, unlike all your friends. You'll still be able to do all the things you do with your friends, but you'll be paying cash for it. Say like, oh, you and all your friends want to go to Vegas. While they're financing their trip to Vegas, you'll be paying cash. Trips, weddings, you'll be paying everything in cash. It won't be no big deal to you. But to them, they'll be financing it. Do you know, like the majority of people, they will finance a wedding and be divorced before paying off that big wedding in Hawaii. Did you know? They don't really talk about that part on videos. You don't see those kind of videos on TikTok. Hey, look, I just got a divorce 5 years later and I still owe $30,000 on that wedding we had in Hawaii and we flew up everybody and tried to show off. Now I'm stuck with it. Yes, you are. Have you been in touch with Mel? Hello, Mel. If you're watching, I miss SMD shared. Mel? Who's Mel? Uh-oh. Did I forget somebody's name? That is an alien definition. Yes. Once there's debt owed to one party to another, that is capitalist. Sure is. When I look at Google definitions, especially when it comes to money, Google's not. It's more like it more like returns answers that you want to hear. Like when I go, so like the best way to buy a house, and you get all this stuff. Hey, you get this interest rate, and this and this and that thing. No, I said buy. I said buy a house. You're talking about every way to finance it, but it's almost like that's the bank's answer. I'm like, do the banks own Google? Okay, or no, they don't own Google. But I mean, do the banks do they own a large portion of stock in Google? Hey, you're going to give these answers. Okay. Anybody ask for this question, you give them this answer. Oh, man. I'll tell you. Hey, if you have owners on your credit report, you are the inventory. Yeah. Listen, log into your online credit report. A lot of you guys got Credit Karma. Log in there. You see all those businesses that own you. That means you're part of their portfolio. You're part of their financial portfolio. So anybody you see listed in your credit report, you are part of their financial portfolio. So say like you believe you own a house. You log into your credit report. You see you own a mortgage. You have a mortgage with all this money you owe, right? That means you are on their financial portfolio. You don't own anything. LJ, I did the math and can pay off my mortgage in 3 years by living off half my salary. See how it naturally, I think they call it what, neuroplasticity. You naturally start to think of ways to do it faster. How can I get to my freedom faster? You start thinking of ways. I'm telling you, that's how it works, man. You trimming stuff, and this is what I do for clients. I help you trim stuff because all that money, you understand where all that money goes, and it's going to help pay off your debt faster. That's called phantom income. You could pay off debt faster with phantom income. Here, let me give an example. Say like you have a phone service and you pay $150 a month for your phone service. Okay. You come to me, I show you how to get the exact same service for $50. So now you have $100 of phantom income to put towards your debt. Because you don't lose. Listen, you won't notice what you did because you're getting the exact same phone service. But you're paying $50. So you still fit in with all your friends. But they don't know that. But now you have $100 more to put towards your debt, which is going to get you out of debt faster without losing your way of living and your lifestyle. Maybe you use your phone heavily, so you need plenty of data. So you do the exact same thing, but for $50, you don't notice a thing, but you notice your debt going down faster. You sure do. So there's a stock on people getting into credit. The people are the stock. The stock market couldn't exist without debt slaves. I want everybody to know that. The stock market wouldn't exist. Apple wouldn't exist. CarMax wouldn't exist. Nothing would exist without debt slaves. They are everything. Debt slaves are everything. When you hear cryptocurrency, again, okay, if you're thinking about it, put it this way. Say like you're thinking about investing in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency in the financial aspect of the word is positive and negative. Anybody telling you to invest in cryptocurrency, you say, do you have student loan debt? Are you making car payments? Do you have credit card debt? They're about to tell you from the negative side of cryptocurrency. There's a positive side. There's people over here that know it's you. They know it's you. You don't know it's you. You don't know, debt slaves. You guys are the cryptocurrency. It's you. I look at cryptocurrency like the test bed before the what's the CDBC, the central bank digital currency. Testing out the water, see what you guys do, see what you guys try to hide, think you're going to do this and hide it with blockchain and steal wallets and all this other stuff. You guys just be thinking of all this dumb shit, right? Just to see, okay, or they're just taking notes. Okay, we do this, don't do that. All right, they think they're going to hide the money. Okay, all right, put this there. This the same way the credit reports. Have you noticed this? Like, have you noticed that nobody cracks into the credit report database and scramble up people's debt numbers and stuff? That never happens. They always steal your information, like your social security card or your name or where you live, but they never get in there to change credit scores and scramble up your debt. You know why? Because it's never going to happen, ever. That's never going to happen. Nobody's going to do that. Even if there was some people that did it, they didn't do it. Wedding, shaking my head. That is so true. I don't know why people spend so much money on weddings. It's only for exactly because they're financing it. But if people pay cash for weddings, you guys wouldn't see half the weddings you guys see in Hawaii and all these big extravagance. They wouldn't be doing none of that. Neuroplasticity, the ninth wonder, sure is. It is. That shit is true. Listen. That has to be true because now I know there's a psychological part in capitalism, which I did not know before, but I know today. So of course that's true. Of course. You are welcome. I try to do it all the time. Luminoff says, salute SMD. Missed most of the live stream, but I'll catch the replay. Merry Christmas to everyone, including you, sir. Much appreciated. Most definitely. Happy holidays, everybody. I'm gonna get off here. You guys have a wonderful. Oh, Christmas is tomorrow. I don't pay attention to holidays like that so much, but I have to because my girlfriend, you know. But I'm not into holidays like that. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Until next time, share this video. What'd you say, Andre? When you know time is money, you will want, when you know that, for sure. Sure doesn't. Happy holidays, everybody. I don't know what that is. I don't know what thoughts on text harvesting are. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful evening. All right, till next time. See you later.